Hello, brothers of the internet, and welcome to this video where today I will, I'll walk into a corner for a start, and then I will attempt to just free play some PC builds. So what we have here, we have a fairly neat little case that was just left on the table. Apparently no one cares about it, but anyway, the Celeron disaster we built last time in this game was in the past, and I intend to leave it there. There have been a fair few bits added, I believe, even if they're smaller power supply bits, and there has been a special case added most recently, so I decided it was about time to have a bit more fun with this game, see what there is. I think this is a new case. H440, yes, that is the case. Although the colours threw me off for a moment because it looks slightly different on the website, but this is supposed to be a limited edition PC, and why haven't I picked it up? Well, not PC as such, but so we have Martini heat away fans. I wonder what it's got in the actual case, if they do include them, because that would be quite interesting. It's something like $120, and can we open the front, or is this just one of those cases where the front is? Wow. Admittedly, it gives you all that extra cooling, but mine, I just get so used to having DVD bays there, or CD bays, and it leaves no kind of blankness. Because there's always something going on when I build a PC. There's always like something there. No, you go back in. Oh, is that to unscrew the side panel? That figures then. I'm being stupid. Still, this is a new case, so it's the one we'll use. And see what we can get into this. We can get rid of these Martini heat away fans, though. They look pretty basic, and I'd like to put some LED fans in. So that's a thing we'll get to. We also have to find my motherboard, hopefully, that I've got in this particular system. It is an AMD AM4 board. It looks like these are all ATX. I've got a mini ITX here. So it works, but, you know, maybe not ideal. We've got to find socket AM4. Where are you? TR4, that's Threadripper. Nah, I want to... If the parts are in this game, at least, I want to build what I've got in front of me, or to my right-hand side, because I thought, well, you know, why not? Seems like an interesting enough way of doing things. SATX. I think that's Super ATX. I'm not sure, though. I'm just guessing here. Wait. They don't look to have the Wi-Fi board I've got, but they do have AM4 boards, or at least an AM4 board. I remember when I last built, there was AM4 boards. So, I have an RGB board, actually, because I bought a bundle used of stuff. And, yeah, it has to have RGB. But it's not going to be the fanciest thing in the world. It's just going to be a cheaper RGB board. So, this one... Oh yeah, it's a gigabyte as well, just like mine. This is probably the closest to what I've got. So that's why we're going to go with it. And you can go right in here. Do. There we go. Plop. And we put the screws into the standoffs. And squeeze the motherboard between them. And that's how it's mounted in place. So there we go. And we can open memory clip. What memory are we actually going to go with? That's another thing we need to add. So I have 8 gigabytes at the moment. I'll probably go with 16 soon enough. And memory. Ooh, I have some fancy memory, but I'm going to just change it for less fancy but more capacity, I think. Ooh, that's actually what I've got. I've got 2 of these, I think. So, yeah, that's interesting. 2 of those exact modules. Dominator, Platinum. Hey, Drive Bay, what are you doing over there? and we'll get another Dominator Platinum. I don't have 4 RAM slots. The joys of being an ITX board. Oh dear. We do have the pin socket, which I didn't mess up amazingly enough when I actually built this, put this system together. I don't think we do have the 2200G either. So I'll have to put the Ryzen 1200 in, which is probably the closest. Come on, open. Install CPU. There we go. And what else have we got? Oh, we've got to close that. It's going to have a very awkward angle. Admittedly, I can move around with my right mouse button, but I'm not very good at that. The heatsink is just a standard Ryzen one, so I'm guessing that's just the Martini here. Cooling. Well, the Martini is probably the equivalent of what I've got, let's say. Ooh, I like that one. In a weird way. So, what do we have? I don't know. Are there CPU ones in a different location? They're not. There we go. Martini Thermal 100. Or that one. The Martini, I think it's technically an Intel cooler, but it's close enough. Oh. I have remembered though. Tools. I'm being incredibly stupid. I actually did this though when I was building this system, but I thankfully remembered at the last moment I needed thermal paste before I actually put the thing together for good. So, you know, it works. Heat away, where are you? There we go. The thermal paste is spreading, oh dear. So here we go. Here's our little gaming PC, and we can remove case part. We won't be SLIing anything. I'm not sure if my graphics card is in here, but the graphics card I actually bought new. I'll have to see if it is in the game. If not, there is one that I know is pretty close to it, other than the clock settings and everything. It's an AMD card, and it is. Ooh, we have a 480. Have we got the 470? That's what I need. We've got the Radeon R9s even. Pretty old cards. I thought that said Dell. It probably is supposed to be an OEM card though, mind. It's probably supposed to be what you would find in an OEM gaming PC, so it would make sense. And what have we got? I have the single fan XFX RX 470. No single fan cards here, other than like the reference design RX Vega, and they're completely different types of single fan. GT 1030, but then that is a completely different card. Again, I'm pretty sure my AMD will outperform that. So for the most accurate build, I think we'll have to go with a 570. The Gigabyte RX 570 is probably our best bet. But there is a 480 as well, which again is pretty close, but I think 570... Yeah, 4 GB as well. Just making sure that it isn't the 8 GB, because that would be better, yes, but it would also be... wait. It would be better, but it would also be inaccurate. Look at that card, eh? So, actually, yeah, I do have those same PCIe things on my board. It's very interesting. I want to mount these back, but it won't let me. That's very strange. Does it have to be a specific PCIe? Yes, it does. Okay, you're being very awkward, and the last one I choose is the only one that goes there. That just about figures. Now, I don't have anything on my board down here. but I don't know if we can. There is a sound card I have lying around that I could add, I guess. Technically, if I had the slots. But I don't, so I don't think there's sound cards in this game either. Yeah, that's not working too well. An extra USB drive for OS and program installation. Ah, I think we've got multiple ones here because that way we can always have one to hand if we lose one, and that's pretty handy. So, yeah. We need to put the PC's PCIe blocker back in because there's no sound cards. Disappointing. Disappointing. Anyway, here we have DVI out, but we don't use that one because there's a DVI out on the graphics card. I think these may be a little more detailed than before, but I'm not certain of that. We have other various bits. I think we need to do something here for the power supply. Oh, are you going to do anything? Oh, you're going to remove that side panel, which should enable us to fit the hard drives and such like in. I do have a hard drive, which is like the least fancy hard drive ever imaginable for a PC. But that's the way things are in my system. I mean, I use what I can. Now, I think there's an EVGA that was added to this game in terms of power supply, and that's what I've got in this system, so I will be adding an EVGA power supply. And that looks like a wireless charger for a phone. I don't think it is that, but anyway, it does look a bit like that. Right, so I don't know. I don't think that's exactly what I've got. I've got a 500 watt I think it's BQB, which does look vaguely like that, but I think, I think it's the only power supplier that's close to mine, and it's close enough. This was one of the newly added parts, I believe, and it's better to have it than not have it. For the ideal PC build, PSU mount, you can go in like such, and there we go. You can screw right there and stay in place, hopefully. There we go. I don't know how that would get any airflow. I guess it would come through the bottom of the case, because all mine are mounted at the top of the case because I'm properly old and I don't use modern cases. We do have a PS2 port though, so that's accurate for me. And what else do we have? I actually have some, well, not some, but I have a Nanoxia fan on the rear of my PC here. So that's what I'm going to add. Ooh, that's odd. It did a little dance. Little dance of cooling, I guess. Wait, so PC, we'll go PC parts. It should tell me, shouldn't it? No, it didn't. Okay, I'm slightly lost now. I'm going to have to guess. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit, but I've got a 120mm Nanoxia fan. I don't think they have Nanoxias. This is a very odd colour scheme. It's black and dark green. So we could just go with RGB and make it green, because that would work. Or, failing that, there are some with actual bits of bright green here. Not the kind of darker green I would have liked, but it works. So, are these going to fit? Yes, 140mm. It apparently will fit, which will give me more cooling than the 120mm. Unless I want it to be a true replica. But I think that's close enough, to be honest. I'll just leave the front fans as they are. There's no fans on the front of mine, but I don't want to mess with it. If it's here doing what it's supposed to do, it's really as close as I can get without messing around too much. The cables are all over the place on my PC as well, so I don't know how that will end up. It'll probably end up looking significantly nicer than my PC. Significantly lighter is not true, since mine is a mini tower. Mine wouldn't fit a motherboard that big, to give you an idea. And it's just a modified Fujitsu. So that's why I'm able to fit a huge fan on the back, which it shouldn't really be able to fit. But it had a very odd cooling solution from standard. Still, it has a 2004 era Celeron sticker on the front, so you're not going to suspect it, are you? We can access the power supply from back here. What's that? That's a little bit of text there. Oh yeah, I think that's like no user serviceable components. I actually have an EVGA power supply, as I've said, and that is accurate. That is very accurate. They do have that text on them. I think that one's fully modular and mine's part modular. I think that's the main difference, but they are pretty similar. We have Sheen Mega SSD, but I don't think I need one of those. We have all these Seagate Barracudas. I don't have a Seagate Barracuda. I have a WD, which I'm guessing is a Mortini Easy Store. It's a WD Blue, so not a WD Black as you would expect from a gaming PC. And that is the only hard drive in here. You can go in there. Everything needs to connect up. Connect main board. I don't even know what I'm connecting at this point. You know, you can't really see. This is probably a better view. We can connect the case fan to... We can connect the case fans together. And then connect them to something. I don't know. Oh. We have kind of a case fan convention going on. I don't really know. Are you going to plug in? Yes, you are. So this is interesting. So this case has kind of a fan hub. Because there's so many fan ports. I've not seen these before. I just use fan splitters and the like to actually get them to work. But then, yeah, as I say, I don't use all these modern handy conveniences. This can go into the fan hub. Or the main board, actually. Connect that to the PSU, whatever that is. Connect the hard drive to the motherboard. And the case fan. There. This can connect to the power supply. The case can connect in here. And there we go. Should be quite neat. There we go. We've got an incomplete case, apparently. Install. Fits this PC, yes. Maybe there's some parts that don't. This is just a standard drive. Yes. There we go. So, here we have our PC. As close as I could build right now to the one that I'm using right now. But it has got the same memory, and that's about all, let's say. Same memory, that's all the same. It's actually worse in terms of CPU. I didn't think that would be the case, unless, yeah, but didn't have the CPU I wanted. It's the closest CPU I can get, but my CPU is basically the upgrade to that CPU because it's a year more modern. We have our twin fan graphics card instead of a single fan. It works. I mean, what can I say? At least, yeah, I can say that at least I don't have to deal with NVIDIA drivers. They've been a complete nightmare with my 980 Ti in my other system. This card is nowhere near as good as a 980 Ti, but hey, the drivers just work. You just install them and continue on your way. I'm probably going to drive NVIDIA fans mad by saying this, but, you know, I'm much happier with the drivers for this. It's the same when I was actually setting this system up. I just put the card in and I used it, end of, really, for a graphics card, the way it should be. I'm just hoping Intel, or Nvidia, sorry, in this case, fixes it. It was, I did look it up, and people were saying something like Nvidia only sucked when Windows 10 came out, before then they were good for drivers. And it makes sense, because I had an old Nvidia NVS 300 Quadro, and, you know, I didn't think I had any too major problems with that. Have we done anything? We have actually put all the cables in, okay. No OS installed. We need to install our USB then. USB, you go in. It actually went in. I don't think it went in before on the other system. So, there we go. No OS found. Power off then and power on again with a USB in. I like how a little light's there. I don't think that light was there before. Ooh, Omega OS. Yes. The only operating system in existence is now installing itself onto my PC. Come on. The angry Windows medical drone's trying to kill me again. And wow, the time actually is accurate. Because I checked, I have both monitors on this system still. 2 monitors of varying degrees of modernness. And it does say the exact same time. So we must take that from the system time, which is interesting. I think this is installed now. We can run 3D Mark and everything. System info, let's install this. I think this is like Perform Specky, which you can download and it tells you things about your system. Yeah, it's going to take a while for it to boot because I got a hard drive. Also, show you this now. I think there's Fortnite there. Before I was recording this, I found that pretty amusing and I decided I would show it. There we go, system info. Our CPU is a Ryzen 3. Yeah, I think mine is 300 megahertz up, but otherwise the same basic cores as this. And temps are good. As they would be for a vehicle? No. For a computer with this many fans. GPU is very cool, but we're not doing any gaming yet. Can you actually move it? Wow. You can actually move it around like you can on a Windows system. I'm actually surprised by this, but you know, it's just a neat little touch to have. Our memory clock speed is about the same as our CPU. And our hard drive is a Mortini. Didn't know much else about it. Our RAM is lightning white. Oh, lighting is white. You don't think it is? Oh! RGB lighting on our graphics card, apparently. I won't be messing with the RGB, to be honest. Unless I guess I've not done much and I'm just looking for ways to fill the episode. We will have... Will it run? Sure. Let's see what applications it will or won't run. More RAM would be pretty nice, though. That's the one thing I noticed about this system. It's a nice system, but the RAM just needs upgrading. It's just not enough. Come on. The gigabyte logo, I think, is kind of inaccurate. It looks like it's from maybe an older board because mine just says something about ultra sharp capacitors. Don't cut yourself on ultra sharp capacitors or whatever. No, it's not that. It's something like ultra tough. I don't know. We actually have all these things. Yeah, I was actually able to run this on some really weak graphics options, let's say, including the MVS 300 graphics card I mentioned, sorry, which is definitely not a gaming card. So why I would need to even test it on here, I don't know. Minimum spec? Oh no. Yeah, you do not need an R9 370 to run Euro Truck Simulator. It's better optimized than that. I'm pretty sure you can run it on a GT 730, no problem. Is the Fortnite on here? Minecraft! I'm sorry, I just can't resist being stupid and testing really lightweight games. Like, how does Minecraft require a 750 Ti though? I mean, I'm not sure if they're trying to move with the times or something, but to be honest, it's like a Core 2 Duo is still good enough for the majority of just everyday applications like YouTube. As long as you're not trying to stream 1080p or anything, it'll do everything just as well as any ultra modern PC, despite being 10 plus year old technology. The sailing simulator. We'll try some slightly heavier ones. Apparently it can't run Grand Theft Auto. Wait a minute. So, Ryzen 5 6 core. They are definitely overplaying this though, because I'm pretty sure Grand Theft Auto was released, at least Grand Theft Auto 5 was released before Ryzen was even a thing. So how can Ryzen be the minimum specification for it if they didn't even know what Ryzen was going to be? Same with the R9, I guess. And how is that better? I don't know. This is all strange. I think Battlefield 1, another kind of game. This is probably more demanding. Yeah. It says you need powerful specs, and I don't have them. It's not the most powerful vehicle in the world. Why do I keep saying vehicle? I don't know. Something's wrong with my mind. Ooh, I do have lighting. Or I don't have lighting. I'm installing lighting. We start now? No. I'll get 3D mark as well. See if I can benchmark this thing. See how poorly it does. Come on. We start. Gigabyte. Yeah, I'm just stealing your PC. I hope you don't mind. Oh, wait, did it say take extreme care? Oh, don't tempt me. I throw them in my back of my truck all the time. No one seems to notice. Anyway, lighting. So, the case itself, I think, has RGB. We have to make it blue and chrome as much as we can. There we go. And we can go with the gigabyte bits, maybe. I guess that we apply that. Okay. Ooh. Light. Did I see lights down below the power supply? Well, I think I've done something I can be proud of. Even if I'm not that proud of it, I've still made a system that vaguely resembles mine. It actually runs this smoother than one of the customer's PCs does, believe it or not. So, that's something. That's not what I've got. I have a board similar to that, similar looking to that, but mine is an AM4 socket. What are the other games they've got here? That looks like some kind of Xbox game, but it's obviously for PC, and that's a sailing simulator. Oh, I can reach through the wall, apparently, but I can't pick anything up because I tried that and it wouldn't let me. Anything happening here? No. We can pick up this PC. Whoa. No. No, I want to pick you up. There we go. I worked out how to use my arms. It's taken this many years. It's taken over 2 decades of being alive, but I've worked out how to use my arms, finally. Yeah. Not exactly what I'd call smooth gameplay. But it works. So what frame rate is it suggesting? 20. I would say with more RAM, that could actually be a decent system in its own right. Could probably overclock some components there as well, but I don't know about the power supply because it's not the most strongest thing in the world. Graphics test 1, 25. Graphics test 2, 20. Quad core, and we've got a gigabyte Aorus board, and it took 3 minutes, so that's decent enough. Anyway, I think I'm going to call it a day here, so I'll go and do something with this PC. You are not my main PC anymore. I don't like you anymore. You're going over here. There we go. So I'm going to leave it here, and I'm going to say goodbye until another day.